My name is Wafika Zizwarda. I'm from 4D class. My student ID is 12350303127. And in this video, I will explain about the strategies and the process of translation. Without further ado, let's go! So this is the text, Rumah yang Terang by Ahmad Tohari. This is a short story. And by the way, the process that that I follow is balance faithfulness to the original text and clarity for the target reader. This involve 1. Reading the full text to understand the context, tone, and cultural values. 2nd is identifying key stylistic features such as metaphor, social critique, and narrative voice. 3rd, translating paragraph by paragraph using a mixed translation techniques, depending on the formality, idiomatic expressions, and cultural context. The 4th is editing for fluency to make the English version natural, readable, and respectful of the original's meaning. So, there's various techniques that I use, such as semantic translation, communicative translation, literal translation, and modulation, adaptation, borrowing. The first one is systematic translation that colored green. The original text, kampung seperti ini mendapat injeksi tenaga baru, and I translate it's as if the village received a shot of new energy. Because the metaphor injeksi tenaga was adapted to a more idiomatic English expression while preserving the figurative force. Second is listrik juga membunuh bulan di langit. I translated to English. Electricity also killed the moon in the sky. The metaphor remains intact, maintaining the poetic tone instead of simplifying it. And the second one is about communicative translation. Okay, the original text, mereka menyamakan ayahku dengan orang yang tidak menyediakan jalan, and I translated it to they likened my father to someone who refused to provide a road. Why I use this technique? Because figurative meaning preserved while ensuring ease of understanding. And then the original text ini sungguh tidak nyaman, and I translated it was truly uncomfortable. Cause a smooth and natural rendering in English for emotionally clarity. And then aku masih harus repot dengan setiap kali membeli baterai dan nyetrum aki, and I translated to English is like I still had to bother buying batteries and charging a car battery. Karena nyetrum aki was expressed in a clear, accessible way for international readers. And the third is literal translation, colored kuning or yellow. Listrik sudah 4 tahun masuk kampungku, and I translated it to electricity has been in my village for 4 years now. And all example like lamp post stands in front of my house from the original text. Buat yang lampu tertancap di depan rumahku, and all the literal translation closely follow Indonesian syntax while still being grammatically correct in English. So I use literal techniques. And the fourth is modulation, colored ash. Nah, rumah dua tetangga di belakang itu terlalu jauh dari tiang. And I translated to the homes of those two neighbors were too far from the electric pole. Cause see from house this one as subject, it's like to compound possessive structures, so I use modulation. And then Aku sering membujuk. And I trusted it to. I often try to persuade him. That's modulated to express purpose and engagement more clearly. And next, the fifth is adaptation. It's like cultural substitution. There is Dakshtang, Tuyul, and Tasbih that I more memperjelas in English gitu. Kayak Dakshtang itu a connecting cable, and Tuyul itu a mythical spirit that steals money, and the prayer bead is Tasbih. So aku memperjelasnya agar maknanya tuh tetap tersampaikan seperti itu. Nah, aku juga menggunakan teknik borrowing yang terakhir, seperti Tuyul, Tasbih, and then Dakshtang, cause all three are untranslated Indonesian terms, but given in transliteration and accompanied by short explanation to preserve authenticity. Jadi biar lebih terasa secara budayanya gitu. So that's all from me. Thank you. This will be useful for you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.